and Hong Kong Fooey.
Hong Kong Fooey.
Morning, everybody. It's, what day is it? 15th of April. We are Signal Centre talking ball. Joe Neighbour, Ian Common and Steve O'Hare. Morning, gents.
Morning, chaps.
Good morning.
Everybody okay?
Yep. Not a lot. It's a Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Exactly the same as yesterday.
Yeah.
A couple of glasses of wine and off to bed.
Yeah. Standard. Anyone watching anything good at the moment?
No,
Oh, yeah.
I watched something quite harrowing last night. It was the Bresnan, was it? The concentration camp.
Oh, right.
All right.
Pretty.
Dresden.
No, I should really remember the name, should I? Bresson. Was it Bresson?
Sounds
I've watched loads of those. I think the documentaries are fantastic. Horrific, but fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm watching a series called Ray Donovan.
He's the fixer, is he?
Yes.
Yeah. I've
Mega.
seen that. Yeah.
Was...
We're on Last Kingdom. Has anyone seen that?
No.
Vikings.
Oh no, is it good?
Yeah, it's good. Have you seen Vikings on Amazon Prime?
No, Rape and Pillage.
I saw one or two. I didn't sort of like get into it. Is it good?
Brilliant. Yeah, it's amazing.
Is it?
Up there, one of the best box sets I've seen.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's just called Vikings.
Vikings on Amazon Prime, and then this Last Kingdom is a similar sort of thing. Worth checking out. Anyway, so trading wise, yesterday, how do we all find it? It was pretty
shocking.
It was easy.
It would have been right if it was today.
Yeah, I think we was just a bit early on all our calls. Certainly, Ian and I were looking, and Steve were looking for the risk off. Seems as though it's come today rather than yesterday. Bitcoin was
frenzy.
Stopped. Cable was stopped. Steve, you had a 0.21 hour loss on copper at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be going today as well. We've just broken the 230 level on IG.
So yeah, it looks quite interesting. I mean, so has anybody got anything they want to jump straight into on the charts?
I wouldn't mind having a go.
Go on then, mate.
I like this from 3 different time frames. The S&P 500, which is the one that I have to concentrate on. I don't have to. It's the one that I
gun to your head.
Yeah.
You have to play with.
Weekly chart. Decent recovery, 37% from low to high. But you've got that swing low coming in here at 2854. And the overnight high is 2850. Now we've got bespoke resistance at 2841. So these rallies have been sort of sold into. Also got a DMARC exhaustion count on the 4-hour chart. Looking at this time frame, this one is like an AB equals CD formation. Is a bit higher. It's 2888. But I think the appearance of this, which is a bit of a bodged up ending wedge formation, I think is going to push it to the downside. IMF said that we're going to have the worst recession for 100 years yesterday, which I think is obviously dampened the mood a little bit. And we've got US earnings reports starting today, which is mainly the big banks, and I think they're going to be shocking. So I'm having a go at this. Something like that.
Nice. Nearly 5 hours, is that?
Yeah, 2811 to 22. $4.7R. So 2811, 2851 stop, 40 tick stop, and 2622 was used the wedge target for the target.
Excellent. A few bits and pieces I'll go through. So on the equities front, just to sort of join in with Ian, we went short of DAX on a break of 10,650 this morning. So already pushing nicely on side with that 134 ticks, which isn't quite 1 hour. The stop was quite large at 185. Looking for retracement back down to 10,125. So that's looking quite good. Looking at other sort of assets that you would class as risk on, things like the Aussie dollar have had huge moves, and New Zealand dollar as well, which all look to be running into some resistance levels. It did overshoot on that Fibonacci level at 78.6, but looking at the other trigger that I use, which is the 10 EMA, a strong close looking as though below that at the moment, and that's being mirrored across the board on all the Aussie pairs. Also looking at the dollar index, that has fallen to a 78.6% fib level and bounced, and looking as though it may continue to recover in the very short term. So that was going to be my trade for today, was buying the dollar index, people flooding back to the US dollar as a form of safe haven over any of the other currencies. Looking for a move up to 100 spot 90 and a stop loss at 98.75, buying
Lovely.
99.28.
I like that.
Likey.
Cool.
Likey.
Nice. Okay. You've made my mind up as to what trade I'm going to go for now.
Gold.
Gold. Yeah. So crude oil obviously under pressure. We know about that. Copper. This is the trade I was going for yesterday, and it's broken this upward trending support line. Just got short of it, selling a break on the intraday basis. So I was torn between copper and you know what? I'm more inclined to go with copper. You know, I don't like selling gold. I'll show you gold anyway on my chart. I'm looking to sell a break of gold. We've got a little bit of a head and shoulders formation potential, but maybe needs a right shoulder to be more in place. So the neckline is more along this 1708 level. On the intraday basis, I'm looking at selling a break of 1705, give it a little bit of room. Silver, obviously, as I said yesterday, I'm not convinced by the rally at all. Whereas gold's making highs dating back to 2012, silver's making highs dating back to March this year. So silver not really playing the game. VIX is still at 40, so dollar is still the safe haven. So if dollar's still the safe haven, it's going to put copper and gold under pressure. So let me go. I'll go with copper, and I think it's already made 3-1. Oh no, I'll sort of. It'd be a bit less than 3-1. 2.5. 2.55. There we go. Is it taking target? Taking 2.5 to 1. I'm going to sell here 2 spot 29.30. Target is 2 spot 24.30, and the stop is at 2 spot 31.30. That's my copper trade.
Happy days. Very decent looking trades there.
Yeah, I think
they all start off that way, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I feel I'm sort of like thinking about the equities overnight. We've sort of just been triggered along on Hong Kong and China this morning, so a little bit under pressure. I was looking to buy dips on all of them, and obviously 2 of them are triggered. I don't know. I don't feel necessarily unconfident about it. So I'm just thinking, is this just a little bit of a overnight flush, and then maybe we'll get the strength coming back in? I don't know. I think it's like a dollar story probably. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, indices have had obviously a massive move from the lows, as Ian pointed out, which, you know, there can't be much more than sort of 25-30% on a bear market rally before, you know, you're really sucking people in and people think that everything's okay. You know, it's not, is it? The news yesterday, as we saw with regards to the UK, was that there could be a 35% dip in the economy.
Right.
Which is massive.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know it's there, but obviously, what you've got in the meantime is you've got the Fed, the central banks, you know, pumping liquidity into the markets, buying assets, buying corporations. So you're fighting against that. It's when that slows down a little bit, then I think we've got a top in place. But I don't mind missing the first few percent of the move, just to get that confirmation. I always feel like you always know when a stock indice high is in place when it doesn't look obvious.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it feels like, oh, we've got a bit of a top, and you can just feel everyone going, time to sell, let's do it. And then that's when it just bites you in the arse again. And but at the time when it is really in place is over the weekend, when it opens up 5% lower, and then no one's got a chance of that short-term shorts. So we'll see. I mean, I hope, I don't hope, everyone's right that the top's in place, because obviously that's negative for the economy. But
Well, despite that news yesterday, sterling did actually make a 1 month high.
Mhm.
So projected that UK GDP would decline by 35% in the year to June. If that was based on the assumption that the lockdown lasted for 3 months. They're talking about unemployment hitting 10%. The news out of the US yesterday was that there was more evidence of division. I think, was it Trump saying that the New York governor Cuomo saying he's on the phone to me he's on the phone to me all the time saying we need this, we need that. You know,
He's now refusing to retaliate, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got the
He's
White
tried
House
to de-escalate the tensions with Trump.
The White House economic advisor Kudlow stated that the business loan program could run out of funds this week. So he's reinforcing more pressure on Congress to initiate more support measures. And Trump is saying that he wants to get the restrictions lifted at the beginning of May.
And he's also stopped their payments to the WHO.
Yeah, that was the big news this morning. That's not on our morning note, but yeah, that's pretty significant as well. Making enemies where he shouldn't be, really.
I don't think he cares.
Tango, indigo, tango.
0 fucks given by Trump.
Yeah. Oh, bless him. Bless his little cotton socks.
Got loads of earnings today, haven't we?
Have you got any big names on the list? Are they the ones behind you?
He's got a few behind him, hasn't he?
Let's have a look. Different email.
Is that the names of the banks that want our trade ideas,
Got to be.
Is that just
They've
sort of
already taken them,
coincidence?
They've got Bank of Canada rate decision today as well, which we shouldn't forget about. Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs.
Big names. Yeah, I mean, they often set the tone, don't they? I mean, it used to be Alcoa, which was the big mining company in the States that was the bellwether for the rest of the earnings season. But I guess everybody will be looking to the banks this time around. Data-wise, so Bank of England rate decision at 3, crude inventories at 3:30, and US retail sales plus Empire Manufacturing Index data at 1:30 in the US.
Cool.
So let's see what happens.
Excellent. Nothing really new on the commodity news that we didn't have. Nothing expanded from yesterday. Everyone's pinning their hopes on a 20 million barrels per day cut that the OPEC Plus group agrees. But obviously, you need everyone else to join in. United States, stuff like that. Shale is bust.
You reckon?
Today.
Yeah.
Cost
them $30 to get it out of the ground, didn't it?
Yeah. Saudi's Aramco looking to borrow about 10 billion apparently to help finance its acquisition of Saudi Basic Industries Corp.
They must have some assets.
Branson wants to cut the bill.
Yeah, I think they have got some assets. Aramco agreed last year to buy the controlling stake in SABIC from the Kingdom's Wealth Fund for 69 billion, which is one of the biggest ever deals in the global chemical industry.
They must have some liquidity knocking about then.
Yeah. Well, they should get on our trade ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
Get some return on it. 6
months worth of trade ideas, they get 70% return based on what we've done so far.
Yeah, the evidence is there.
Called live.
Yeah, exactly. Gun to the head challenge.
Okay, shall we wrap it up there, gents? Yep. Lovely stuff. Well, good luck, everybody.
Yeah, have a good
today, and we will catch you all again tomorrow.
Cheers.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.